Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. And in this one, I don't think I've talked about the Chicago Bulls very much at all this year on my channel. But it's getting to a point where I'm starting to get concerns, like some serious concerns. I believe the Chicago Bulls are fraudulent. I'm just gonna say it right now. I think they're a fraudulent team. They're currently, if I'm correct, I think second or third in the East. I could be wrong. Yeah, they're currently fourth in the East. Their record's 39-26. DeMar DeRozan has been very good for them this year. He's been in the MVP conversation for the most part. I mean, he's just outside of it. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is, this team has a couple of really glaring issues, and the first one being is they are now 1-14 against like teams above 500 or teams that are going to be in the playoffs, like teams that are actually good. They lost to the 76ers the other night, and they are not winning games against good basketball teams. For whatever reason, anybody they play that's in the playoff picture, they seem to get their ass kicked. And if the playoffs started today, the Chicago Bulls would be playing the Boston Celtics. Right now, it would be the 4 seed versus the 5 seed. And right now, Boston, they've gotten better with adding Derek White. But I will say this. In a series of 7, I think Chicago would beat Boston. I think they're a better team than Boston. I think they're more well-equipped. They have more depth. By then, they should have Lonzo Ball back and Alex Caruso, hopefully. So I'm confident that if the playoffs started tomorrow, the Chicago Bulls could beat the Boston Celtics in a 7-game series. I think they would actually beat them in 5 or 6, if I'm being honest with you. Like, the Chicago Bulls, I think, are just that much better than the Boston Celtics. But once they get into the second round, man, that's it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think the Chicago Bulls are talented enough to beat a team like the Miami Heat or the Milwaukee Bucks, or even, who else do we got here? Philadelphia. Cleveland is even a pretty good team. Like, I would even argue that Cleveland is better than Boston. Toronto is a team. Like, no matter who they get, you know what I'm saying? Like, Toronto's been playing well. Brooklyn has been, I'm going to be honest, a lot of people are picking Brooklyn to win it all this year, but if Kyrie Irving can't play home games, I don't know how much I like their odds to actually win it all. But I'm just going to be honest, man. If they make it to the second round, I just don't see how they're going to beat the rest of the field. Like, they can beat Boston. They could maybe beat Cleveland. But really the only team I don't even know if they could beat Cleveland. It's like, Cleveland's a good team. Yeah, they could beat Cleveland. But Toronto's pretty fucking good for a team that's the 7 seed. Like, that's a strong 7 seed. But it's just the idea, man. If they get to the second round, I don't think they go any farther than that. There's just too many good teams that are better than them. And not for nothing, man, but Chicago is terrible at defending the fucking pick and roll. I don't know if you guys have noticed this year, but they are like 28th in the league at defending the pick and roll. And I get it, not having Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso is, not helping, but like, they're 28th in the league at defending the pick and roll, and they're like 26th or whatever on opponents. They're ranked 26th in opponents' points off of pick and roll. So like, they suck at defending the pick and roll. And I feel like in the playoffs, most of the offense becomes a half-court offense. Once you start getting into the playoffs, teams go from fast break offenses to more of a half-court offense, and it's pick and roll fucking city once you get into the playoffs, man. Like, half-court offense is all pick and roll, off-ball screens and shit like that, and Chicago's just not good at defending it. So I'm not really sure how far DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic and Lonzo and Alex Caruso can take this team. I will say this, they have some really good depth. And in some instances, I would say that Chicago is kind of underperforming against a lot of these teams they're playing against, because I really feel like they should be playing better than they are. What's his name? Doyuma or whatever. Ayo Doyuma. Someone's gonna correct me on that, and I fucked it up. I don't know how to say this dude's name, but the dude they drafted this year, who's the rookie that's coming off the bench for them, Dosuma or whatever. He's been really good for them. He was arguably like one of the biggest steals of the draft, if not the steal of the draft. And they got Derek Jones Jr. Troy Brown has been good for them. They just got Tristan Thompson. You know, like they have some depth, but it doesn't seem to work. Their defensive schemes are fucking terrible since Lonzo and Alex Caruso have been gone. And they're big hits. I will say that. They're big hits. Not having Lonzo's a big hit. Not having Alex Caruso's a big hit. Yes, they will have them back for the playoffs, but I still don't know how much of a difference that actually makes for this team. I don't think, you know... I don't have confidence in the idea that DeMar DeRozan is going to carry them to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, DeMar DeRozan's very good. DeMar DeRozan has, I would say, you know, taken a step forward this year. The problem is DeMar DeRozan has the nickname DeMar DeFrozen in the playoffs for a reason. It's because he usually doesn't play well in the playoffs. So, I don't know, man. I'm not saying history repeats itself. I mean, this year could be different. DeMar DeRozan is in the MVP conversation this year for most people. But is DeMar DeRozan going to be enough to beat a team like the Bucks or Miami or Philadelphia? I don't think so. I just don't. And it's sad because like the Chicago Bulls are deeper than the Philadelphia 76ers. But I don't have faith in it. After seeing every game this year that they've played against teams that are actually fucking good and teams that are, you know, that teams are going to see in the playoffs, I don't have any faith. You know, they are so bad at defending the pick and roll that I'm just like, you know, if you can't defend the pick and roll, you basically can't play defense in basketball, and they really suck at it. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see what Alex Caruso and Lonzo Ball bring when they come back. Maybe they get better at defending the pick and roll afterwards. But, you know, Nikola Vucevic isn't exactly a model of defense either. Like, Vuce has kind of struggled this year. He's a very good center, but he's more like... He reminds me of Domantas Sabonis a little bit as a guy who's going to get your rebounds. He's going to score. You know, he's going to facilitate. He's going to pass, shoot threes, do stuff like that. But when it comes to defense, it's kind of non-existent. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But, yeah, that's what I think about the Chicago Bulls this year. So, anyway, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.